What's going on, YouTube? How you doing? It's I'm just saying BB filling in for Uncle Mike. We are going to get into these reactions. The next one we have here, Jaguar Wright on is JLo Innocent, the making of a bad boy Diddy documentary. All right, let's check this out. See what Jag has to say to us.
Anne's wondering. Anne's wondering why Diddy hasn't been like that with JLo, calling her name out, etc.
Well, I mean, my answer to that is Natanya Rubin.
Yep.
That's my answer. Say her name. Diddy and JLo had a very, very, very tight-knit relationship. Gene Deal still thinks very highly of her, or at least highly as you can for somebody in her position. I know on another side, what I will say is this. When you see two people that got the kind of complicated personal history that they have together and separately, because I think people really are just in denial about Jennifer Lopez. This is a woman that's been, she's competing with Elizabeth Taylor. Has she beaten her yet? On the husband front, the lovers ranked to the dozens. And almost every relationship that she's been in allegedly has been an open bisexual relationship, including with her husband, Mark Anthony. And I'm not saying allegedly. If you want to sue me, Mark, you can. But just because everyone else forgot about why Hawthorne got canceled doesn't mean that I did. And there's enough corroborating facts to know that what was the story about when Diddy got mad at Jada and Will because they tried to pick JLo up and Diddy was about to do this and do that? Well, it sounds like they finally got their way with her.
Called them out on the nighttime talk shows.
These are not innocent people.
She got a pretty honking career without doing a whole lot of singing. You really got to respect that. She's a singer that doesn't sing.
She never could sing. She's a hell of a dancer. I'll give her that. She can dance.
Timing is perfect, right? I mean,
she can dance.
Yeah, she can dance.
She learned how to act, even though the box office and the streaming numbers ain't reflecting that these days.
HRH is asking, how do you know so much? Love you, Jag. Could listen to you 24/7.
You know, the funny thing is that people still ask me that question. I have been attached to the actual entertainment, music industry, and entertainment as a whole since I was a child. There is not one person that you've heard me talk about that I don't know or don't have personal history with. The only reason it's so hard for people to believe is because of how hard they work to erase my efforts in my career, just like they did my friend, I'll Be Sure. Because I guess everyone forgot that I'll Be Sure invested in Uptown Records while Diddy was just an intern stalking Andre Harrell for a job.
That came out in that documentary too. That without his hits and without the money that he put back in, he built that. That's the, you know what I mean? It was his success that got Uptown where it was.
I know. And Diddy ruined it all. And then the next thing you know, Clive Davis moved Andre Harrell aside for the diddler. And here comes Bad Boy Records.
Here's an interesting question I've not seen before.
What?
So it's from Tilu. Nicki Minaj, I got the vibe she wants to expose things but has been silenced via MK Ultra. especially because of her alters or DID personalities. What do you know?
What I find funny is that people actually think she has DID.
Yeah.
When you suffer from dissociative identity disorder, and let's be very clear about this, and I can say it for a fact because they tried to diagnose me with it when I was young, and I was cleared. When you have a dissociative mental mindset, your alters don't know each other. There's no way you can be aware of all of your alters unless you've been integrated. And then if you're integrated, then you're no longer DID, which means you can't have other personalities unless you're choosing to. Now, is Onika sick in my opinion? Absolutely. But she ain't got no DID. What she has is Diddy. See, that's what she suffered from. She suffered from Diddy, Diddy. That was her manager. That was her mentor. And he invented her to move little Kim out of the way so he didn't have to keep feeling guilty about stealing Christopher Wallace's legacy. Now, if you want to know why Onika won't speak, it's probably because she's just as big a predator as the rest of them. I mean, who marries a level 3 SA offender? Who does that?
You got a message from Ada Santiago. Hi,
Mhm.
Jag, it's me. Remember me? We talked on Maggie's Live.
Yeah.
Please share my story, please.
Ada, I think that would be better for you to do.
Usually.
What I am hoping is that you've taken my advice. Know that we're all praying for you and your children. And I hope you've been checking those adoption agencies, like I've said. Now, that's all I'll share here, because what I do not want is for all of the hoopla that chases me to chase your very real story. It should come from you. And if Sean should choose to invite you here to talk about your story, I have no problem with joining the panel as a supporter.
Great idea.
But I cannot speak for you on this. Not today. But when you're ready to speak, I got your back.
Got a question from Truth Only. Was the marriage with JLo and Ben a whole distraction, or did they actually love each other?
I mean, I don't see why both can't be true at the same time. The man already said, because they had 2 weddings. They had the first one in Vegas and then they had the proper one to get it done. But the first one in Vegas, he said he was drunk. He didn't even remember they got married. And then they went and did the official thing. All of this happened just before the Diddy floor fell through. And, I think people keep forgetting that JLo was able to walk away from everything that happened to Natanya Rubin after a quickie marriage, a hit movie, and then she settled in with Ben Affleck, and everyone forgot about what happened to Natanya.
Well said.
Versace dress and a marriage to an Oscar winner. And it got people to forget about what happened to my friend, and I can call her that now, Natanya Rubin.
Our friends.
Yeah, our friend. And yeah, I think she thought it would work again. I do. And I think she thought it would be great for her career. Working with Ben, and working with Matt, and working with Clooney. Not as an actress, but as an equal, a producer. Yeah, it all looked really good. It's just funny. It's just funny. These
Question from
people don't have any respect for these real institutions.
Question from Hiker Mom. Queen Jag, do you think Diddy and the higher-ups have something to do with Wendy Williams' current situation? Is her ex-husband involved too?
In my opinion, yes and yes.
She came live today, didn't she? I believe she was on.
Did an interview on the Breakfast Club, which kind of pissed me off, but I understand why she would do it there. Because her word would get traction and they were going to run it. I just hate the fact that it had to be Charlemagne, because Charlemagne, in my opinion, is also one of the people that helped stab her in the back. I'm not
Robin's
saying it was perfect, but nobody deserves to have their life systematically gaslit and plotted on and decimated. Nobody.
Robin's wondering whether you think President Trump is on the right track.
I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. I don't talk to that man.
Well, he nominated Jon Voight and Mel Gibson to be the ambassadors of Hollywood and to go in and try to clean this up. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. Today, he announced that the ambassadors.
Wow.
I'm not. You can Google it. I'm not playing. Hey, it's my fiance.
Mel Gibson. I can understand why everyone's so upset about that. I think I'm more upset about Jon Voight than I am Mel Gibson. You know, like between those two, if I had to put a disclaimer on it, I would have to say that, Mel Gibson is Diddy and Jon Voight is Jay-Z. Jon Voight.
So he missed the boat wide then, real wide.
But as far as Mel Gibson, you can have all kinds of feelings about Kanye West, but when you hear Jesus Walks, it kind of just gives him a grace, And I guess I kind of feel the same way when it comes to Mel Gibson. He did Passion of the Christ. It was an epic, amazing depiction of a story that's been trivially, all the emotion was trivialized out of it. And he really brought it home, the sacrifice that was made for salvation. And his life has been in the toilet ever since. And I think Hollywood, which we know is mostly controlled by one social group of people. I think giving them Mel Gibson is great. In my opinion, I think that's kick ass. All of these weirdos that went after him for making Passion of the Christ, and now the president is enabling him to come back and kick all their asses. I think it's great. I don't know. Maybe it's just the anarchist in me. Man, yeah. I want to see that. I want to see what Hollywood is going to have to say to Mel Gibson. He might do Passion of the Christ. Like, he might do sequels now on some Star Wars stuff. But I think that our country is in a very unconventional place. We're in a very unconventional time, and it's going to take unconventional methods to deal with the very serious systemic issues that we have as a people, and how what's happening here in America is affecting the world globally at large. I think there's going to be a lot of things that people aren't going to be able to. I feel bad because we're friends and there's something that I'm hiding from you guys.
Well,
Because
as
now I
friends,
know after this interview, once it happens, people are gonna be like, "Oh man, Jag!"
well, I'm sure you have our best interests at heart.
What I will say is this thing that I'm keeping secret. I'll make sure I send you a link so we can go live for a little bit when it happens.
Cool.
I
Good. I
think
want in.
very interesting. Odell booked the tickets and hold on a second. Odell!
Road trip.
So people in the chat are asking me questions about Trump and what Trump is doing.
Don't say what.
Okay, nothing.
Nah.
I'll wait for the link. I'm good.
We got a question from Kalinob5. What do you think of Brandy coming out with a new memoir? Do you think she'll be honest about what she knows about Whitney Houston?
God, no.
No.
That girl's been lying since she started singing. I bet you she's going to have more lies in her memoir than Eve did. Because that Eve memoir was a mess. Man, you know, for someone who knows that woman, that story was interesting. I'm still trying to figure out how she left out, all that time when she was tripping over that night out on Broadway, putting that condom on her tongue and licking everybody's butt out for $5 a pop. Like, if you're gonna write a memoir, how does that not make the cut? And those are facts. Because I watched her do it. I was in the black shooting people because I was back there hustling. And I told her, baby, you're hustling backwards. And she was like, well, I don't feel like dancing and I don't like dancing. And I'm just trying to get this money and get out of here. I said, girl, your teeth gonna fall out. You keep playing with these fools up in here like that. And because they came and told me, they was like, oh my God. And this was when she was still being managed by my friend, Frank Bank. May he rest in heaven forever. But yeah, they was like, yo, bank artist over there, Eve over there. I said, Eve? They said, yeah, Eve is destruction. I said, Eve doing what? They said, she over there wilding, Jag, go get her. So I went out front, I put down my pool stick. I was betting $20 a rack, and I was fixing to win. And that's when I went in there. And I'm like, this child have lost her damn mind. And she kept on doing what she's doing. I still don't know how she missed all of Fox's Valley because she got laughed out of there. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, if you're going to write a memoir about your life and you're in the 50 area, you should have gotten to the point where you're secure about what you went from and how you know what I'm saying? You should be able to be honest about it. I don't know why these women is always lying. Like, if Brandy has a memoir and it doesn't include how she was getting spread like peanut butter down there in Pleasantville, New Jersey, while she was recording with Rodney Jerkins, I don't want to hear no more. Because I was in the room next door when she was getting banged out over there. And it was Rodney Jerkins' little cousin. And then when I found out she was pregnant, I was like, oh, let me find out I was there when she got knocked up. Because I was in the room next door sipping on corn liquor, smoking a L. But then they lied and said it was somebody else's baby. And then she got married and everybody found out that was a lie. And then she ran that person down with that car. And, like, I just don't know. Has the statute of limitations ran out on all the shit she done? I don't know if she should be writing anything right now.
Interesting point.
But if she's not going to tell the truth about her childhood, trust me, honey, she ain't telling you nothing about no Whitney Houston. They are pledge allegiance to the Cliveness. Heil Clive. Yeah,
Anne's wondering. Anne's wondering. Why Diddy hasn't been like that with JLo, calling her name out, etc.
Well, in with Ben Affleck, and everyone forgot about what happened to Natanya.
Well,
Working with Clooney, in my opinion, yes and yes.
She came live today, didn't she? I believe she was on.
Did an interview on the Breakfast Club, which kind of pissed me off, but I understand why she would do it there, because her word would get traction and they were going to run it. I just hate country is in a very unconventional place. We're in a very unconventional time, and it's going to take unconventional methods to deal with the very serious systemic issues that we have as a people, and how what's happening here in America is affecting the world globally at large. I think there's going to be a lot of things that people aren't going to be able to. I feel bad because we're friends and there's something that I'm hiding from you guys. You know, for someone who knows that woman, that story was interesting. I'm still trying to figure out how she left out, all that time when she was tripping over that night out on Broadway, putting that condom on her tongue and licking everybody's butt out for $5 a pop. Like, if you're gonna write a memoir about what you went from and how you know what I'm saying, you should be able to be honest about it. I don't know why these women is always lying. Like, if Brandy has a memoir and it doesn't include how she was getting spread like peanut butter down there in Pleasantville, New Jersey, while she was recording with Rodney Jerkins, I don't want to hear no more. Because I was in the room next door when she was getting banged out over there. And it was Rodney Jerkins' little cousin. And then when I found out she was pregnant, I was like, oh, let me find out I was there when she got knocked up. Because I was in the room next door sipping on corn liquor, smoking a L. But then they lied and said it was somebody else's baby. And then she got married and everybody found out that was a lie. And then she ran that person down with that car. And, like, I just don't know. Has the statute of limitations ran out on all the shit she does? I don't know if she should be writing anything right now.
Interesting point.
But if she's not going to tell the truth about her childhood, trust me, honey, she ain't telling you nothing about no Whitney Houston. They are pledge allegiance to the Cliveness. Heil Clive.
So yeah. Well, let me know what y'all think about that. Is JLo innocent? I think that we can all, well, maybe not all of us, but we know that there is some involvement in JLo, even going back to Natanya Rubin, that just has never really been sorted. And I hope that Natanya gets her justice. It's been a long time, and she definitely deserves to have justice for what was done to her. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm gonna get on out of here. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike, and I'm just saying VB told you so. Bye, guys.